Some people, they tap in to spiritual things and they've learned how to hear from God, perceive messages from the spirit world, and they're more sensible to it. Maybe they do have a natural gift, because a prophetic gift in all three categories. It's the Father's gift, meaning you're naturally born with it. You have the sensitivity to spiritual world. You have the natural prophetic gift. You're not even a Christian. You can be not even a Christian. That's why some of these people even get dreams of the events. I was watching a documentary on those people. Some of those people that literally get dreams, and they're not even believers and not affiliated with any religion, of the future events to come. They give those events. Some of those events they predict with a high accuracy. Some of the terrorist acts, all the other stuff, they would write out the dream in detail, submit it to FBI or CIA, and it would be prevented. There's a few documentaries on Netflix that I watched regarding that, those of you that are interested. But they just have this natural ability to perceive. And so when people like this that get saved, or people that maybe have been in the false religions and they've learned to communicate with and perceive from the spirit realm, they get saved, but they're just newly saved. They still don't have the foundational doctrines in them, but they're already receiving messages from angels, and they're receiving messages from light. And this is what I saw, and this is what the Lord showed me. If they're not doctrinally sound, they're not scripturally sound, oftentimes they get into deception. So we have to be scripturally sound, doctrinally pure. Now, we can go even further in that. Apostle Paul says that we should learn to divide the word properly, meaning we should be studying in the word. We should know what the word means. We should know the contextual meaning of the word, and be true to the word, and have a true understand the true meaning of the words. Because some people they start reading the word, they start getting taking scripture out of context. They start, oh, this is what it means, and their prophetic gets guided, but by the false interpretation of the scripture. They say, oh, this is what the scripture means. And it's actually, honestly, it's terrible in prophetic community. That's why majority of Christians having difficulty time with the prophetic ministry, because there is no doctrinal purity in it. Anybody that even has remote, even basic access to some of the like Bible study softwares, or access to some of the study material, can go and read and understand that this scripture doesn't mean what these people are saying. And prophetic people just love taking a scripture and saying, this is what it means, instead of saying, listen, this is what it actually means, and the application could be different, or allegorically, using a scripture allegorically or symbolically, and but instead of trying to validate their bias, validate their theology, they twist the scripture to fit their own doctrine. And this is why a lot of the prophetic community really is not accepted, because even if you had a basic training in how to study the scripture, basic theological training, you listen to them and you're like, oh man, you were doing so good until you started explaining what this scripture means. This scripture literally does not mean that. I understand what you're saying. There's other scriptures they could use to support your point, but this scripture is not it. And prophetic community gets too loose with scripture. There's multiple meanings to the scripture. No, there's only one meaning to the scripture. There could be multiple applications to the scripture, but only one meaning. It means what it means and nothing else. We have to be doctrinally pure if we want our prophetic to be pure.